Hi Scorpio, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, so we're starting off with the King of Swords. I'm hearing the main point. You may feel guided to speak out about something or communicate something. Maybe even have a conversation with someone, call something out. It feels like there's very much an emphasis on this for you. So maybe it's something that becomes unavoidable even at a point. Something that needs to be spoken about. This can even be with someone or a group of people that you're close with. So like maybe something's kind of, and maybe you want to get something off your chest even. It seems like something's going on. This can even be with a friend group or family members. Something may have hurt your feelings even, and you're being guided to say something about it. It's like maybe something that you wouldn't normally communicate, but for whatever reason this needs to be called out. And maybe you don't like the way that somebody's treating you, or like maybe even somebody, for some of you I'm getting like a joke could have even been made that you didn't find very funny, and maybe it's something that you want to say something about. Yeah, it could have even knocked your confidence about like you and your personal progress even, or like your money or your home, something like that. The things that you care about. I'm seeing you kind of move beyond this. Yeah, move beyond this and focus back on what you've been building and creating for yourself. This also feels too like maybe somebody didn't like validate something or approve of what you were doing, but I'm seeing you like so independently doing things on your own. And so there's a sense of recognizing that and taking pride in what it is that you're doing. Yeah, you may at first when you think about it feel uncomfortable about saying something, but I'm seeing that it's necessary for you. It's like you're going to feel empowered by doing this, by making this move. This can even be something internally that you're confronting. Yeah, this can even be a situation where it's like maybe when it comes to your friends or the people you care about, it's like you would pull up any time, day or night for someone, and maybe you feel like someone didn't show up for you, and this is something you want to talk to them about. It's like having the courage to actually speak with somebody about what your standards are. I'm not seeing this be necessarily like you in an intimate relationship with someone. I'm seeing this more so be like a friend or somebody that like may usually support you, and maybe you're looking for more support than what they've given you. It's like maybe you're also very serious about something and you feel like someone took something lightly that really matters to you, and that may have been hurtful. Or you were even expecting a certain type of exchange and something fell through. It feels like this is about, because you already know your standards, this is about maybe even holding somebody to your standard and walking away if necessary. It's like if you've been repeatedly hurt by somebody, maybe you're finally packing your bags and walking away. Because you could even have an unstable connection with someone and it isn't what you need it to be. And there's a sense of knowing what you want, having big goals in mind as well, and wanting to be in a place where you can freely share certain things that maybe in whatever situation this is, you feel like you're keeping things to yourself that you actually want to be able to share with someone. You may be trying to formulate a message too right now. Seems like you're going in a direction where you're going to be reaching out to someone. Maybe about how you feel towards them. Remember, energies can always be reversed. This can be somebody coming through and talking to you. But we're just going to stick with one storyline, and if you want, you can reverse the energies. But yeah, I'm seeing somebody be like, you know what, I recognize what my standards are and this situation is not it, and I'm going into the direction that's going to support like my goals and what I'm trying to manifest and the vision that I have for myself and my life and what I want it to be and what I'm trying to obtain right now. And I'm seeing this notion of you walking away, and there may be a message that you're sending to somebody to clarify what's going on here. It's like this may be news to somebody that you're doing this as well, but it's something that you have to let somebody know about. Maybe even a final decision that you're making. It's like I'm seeing a message being sent that clarifies the situation for someone. Someone that you've known for a long time. Yeah, this can be somebody that you've had years with is what I'm hearing. And maybe that's also why you have the relationship that you do with them. It's like they've been with you through different things and you've been with them through different things, and there's a sense of like camaraderie that I'm seeing here. Let's see. Yeah. Something that is familiar to you, someone that is familiar to you, a situation, a relationship. I'm seeing you letting go of this. It's like maybe you also feel like you've outgrown something. I'm getting this. You've outgrown something and you're letting it go. Because you're not getting what you need from it, or it's not meeting your standards. For some of you, this can even be a friend group too. It's like maybe there's a sense of knowing that something doesn't resonate with you anymore. However, you've identified with it for so long that you're still trying to like find yourself and what that means for the environment that you're trying to be around as well. Because these could have been like people that I'm seeing, like people that you've had memories with and people that you've hung out with and people that you've exchanged energy with like over time as well, with the Six of Cups here. It's like there's a sense of nostalgia tied to your relationship with like this person or these people. But you know that like you're not getting what you need from a situation and it's time to ultimately let it go. And there's a sense of, even though it may be difficult to do that, you know that a weight is going to be lifted off you. Because I'm looking at the Three of Swords here, and it feels like by leaving whatever group of people this is, or person or situation, that you're actually going to be clearing the heart chakra because you're listening to yourself and you're going towards what you want rather than staying out of obligation in something that doesn't resonate with you any longer. So I'm seeing this be like a big choice, and we are starting off with the King of Swords here, which means that a conversation, some form of communication is going to be needed in order to do this. It seems like you want to also be like, well, I wonder what would happen if I leave and what's going to come in because I'm letting go of something. So this is a motion of, I'm hearing excavating, you're making room for something else to fulfill that space, even though you may not know what that is right now. But I'm seeing you definitely have at least a depiction, is what I'm hearing, of like this vision of what you're trying to create, what you're trying to obtain, like where you're trying to go. Sometimes too we stay in situations because they have like sentimental value to us, and then there's a sense of being like, you know what, I actually was just enjoying the old times that we had, and now every time I see you it's not a pleasant situation for me, and there's a sense of walking away from that. So it's like anyway you cut it, it's not what it was, and maybe you also feel like it served its purpose as well, Scorpio. I'm looking at Leo as the only major arcana here. Yeah. I really do feel like the bar has been raised and something just doesn't cut it anymore. And you may feel like hanging out with this person or this group of people undercuts that for you. It feels too like there could have been times where you recognize that this situation was not fulfilling for you, but you talked yourself out of making a move that was right for you. Maybe because too, it's like if you're leaving a group of people that you resonate with and you're moving on, um there may be a sense of like being alone for a little bit too, and maybe that's something that warded you off because you could have been in a situation, stayed in a situation because it felt familiar rather than facing the unknown. But it seems like it's gotten to a point now where there's a sense of recognizing that this situation may be affecting you, and you may be dubbing this as something unhealthy for you to be involved in any longer. It's like maybe the vibe, maybe the energy. And maybe you also don't like the way that this reflects on you too, hanging around this group of people. It's like maybe something that reinforces old habits that you don't want to be living within any longer, that you're ready to move on from, like things that you've outgrown as well. Yeah, I really am getting that. Like it's been reinforcing something that you don't want to reinforce anymore. And maybe there's a sense of facing that aspect of yourself too. It's like something that you recognize was reinforcing habits, patterns that were like keeping you at bay from actually connecting with people in the way that you wanted to. I'm looking at a tower that's coming to fruition, but I feel like you're the one that's in control of this tower. I'm feeling like the tower is necessary because there's going to be a really big shakeup for you. But you know this. It's like if you're leaving something that feels so familiar and walking into the unknown, of course that's going to feel like a tower. It's going to feel bizarre, I'm also hearing. It's like really big things are changing for you, and a tower is about things being destroyed that were built upon unstable foundation, so you can build back up in a way that feels sturdy and stable to you. It feels reliable. It feels like there's a concern too with stability and reliability now, and maybe something that wasn't at the forefront before for you. It seems like immediately when you make this change for you, there's some sort of message that comes through for you as well, because I'm seeing the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is somebody that wants to connect with you emotionally. It doesn't have to be romantic. It's like somebody that may even want to support you emotionally. Somebody congratulating you, I'm also hearing, maybe for something that you're doing. You can even be connecting with someone that you feel drawn to, because I'm looking at the Queen of Wands here. I feel like you're switching out quantity for quality, because I am seeing kind of like a cohort here of people that you may have been around, or maybe different energies you were interacting with. This can be even a habit that involved multiple people or energies, and it feels like you're trading it out for something that fits you better. And that may even involve another person, which may feel surprising to you how this thing comes about, how it comes into your life. I want to understand more about this. I'm looking at Leo and Mars here with the Tower, and I'm looking at Gemini on the bottom of the deck. Maybe placements that you have, placements of someone you're interacting with. I'm hearing a specific message. I feel like you're going to be connecting with somebody that may have done something similarly to what you're doing here, but it's like you just happen upon this person. It's like maybe something you weren't expecting to connect with someone in this way. However, because I'm hearing a strategic move, you kind of end up crossing paths with someone who did something similar. It feels like you're understanding too what's going to allow you to feel more like yourself and also more confident. Yeah, I'm seeing the Tower be a help to you here with the Page of Pentacles. It's like something that you know is really going to be turning around for you, and maybe feeling like a lot of changes are happening. As I said before, I feel like you are in control of the Tower. So it's like even though a lot of big changes are occurring for you, and it may even feel spontaneous at times, like you may be in a place where like all of a sudden you take action, but I'm seeing you kind of be at the helm of the ship. It seems too that reflecting as much as possible is going to be helpful as well when it comes to you getting connected with your inner guidance, and maybe like steps along the way. It's like checking in every so often to see where you are and how you're feeling and where you want to go from there, so as not to take everything on and become overwhelmed. There's like a sense of periodic checking in. Yeah, I am looking at the Ace of Cups. I do feel like you're going to be connecting with someone because of this move that you're making. It feels even like more than you had expected. Ooh, but something that you manifested. I feel like you hooking up with someone, I am hearing hooking up, but again, that can mean many different things. I feel like this is a byproduct of you making this move for yourself. It's like something that comes about. It kind of feels like a reward almost for you making a decision for yourself. And like a lucky chance that you end up connecting with somebody because of this choice. This is someone you would really emotionally connect with. This can even be someone coming through and supporting you emotionally. Because it doesn't have to be romantic, it can be platonic, although it can also be romantic. But yeah, with the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups here, definitely some type of emotional support that you get from somebody that you connect with. Somebody that absolutely cares for you. It feels like you're getting more in touch with yourself and what you're feeling too. And maybe you feel safe enough in this environment that you're moving into where you feel like you can be more genuine and more authentic with how you're feeling. Whereas before, maybe you felt like you needed to be more protective, so you weren't letting yourself feel everything. Or maybe avoiding certain feelings too. I just said avoiding feelings. It's like the hermit when he looks within, feeling anxious about what he finds. It's like maybe you've been neglecting reflecting on what's going on emotionally and maybe intimately connecting with yourself and also maybe someone around you that you do want to connect with. It seems like there's a sense of hesitance of reflecting for fear of what you might find. But I'm not seeing it be like, yeah, you should be worried about what you're going to find when you look within. It feels very self-imposed. It's like a resistance to reflecting, something that you hold yourself back from. Maybe because of like all of the thoughts that are tied to that, to really deeply reflecting. The hermit also speaks on being on your own in your own territory, and that can be for like 5 minutes a day, you reflecting on something and checking in with yourself. But maybe there had been times in like a situation that you were in that discouraged you from doing that. It's like you didn't have time to reflect, or you weren't in an environment where you could open yourself up like that emotionally, or you didn't feel safe to do that. But now it really does feel like you're connecting with yourself, and it seems like you're also connecting with another person, and maybe somebody that you find to be thoughtful in the way that you are too, and maybe somebody that you feel simpatico with emotionally. I feel like this is really going to help you sort through some stuff that that has kind of been on the back burner. Feels like there's something that you want, something that you dream about, something that you know about. I'm seeing, if this is a person that you're trying to connect with, I'm definitely seeing that this person is protected, and maybe you weren't able to connect with them until you transitioned into the space you were in. As I said before, energies can be reversed. This can be like you on your path and not being able to get in contact with someone or connect with them intimately until they had gotten to a certain point. But now it seems like something's opening up for you. I'm looking at Aquarius here. It's like this is a wish fulfillment here. And it may be Aquarius. I'm also looking at Virgo. I'm looking at Taurus. But yeah, this is like something that you dream of coming to fruition, because this speaks about a wish fulfillment, and the star card is like your dreams and what you envision and what feels perfect to you, especially when it comes to love. It's like what feels ideal to you. What feels like a dream come true, even in connecting with someone. I really do get the feeling that this is a person that you're connecting with. Yeah, this may be somebody with a lot of Virgo or Aquarius in their chart, and I'm seeing a lot of water. I'm hearing stellium. This would be a connection that felt destined. You felt destined to cross paths with this person. Yeah, I keep hearing dream come true with the 9 of Cups and the Star card. This happens because of where you are on your healing journey. what I'm seeing very clearly, it's one of those situations where it's like what you could have been doing before in whatever situation you were in. You may have been in a place where you weren't ready to get vulnerable. Like something kept you in a place where you just felt disconnected even from yourself. But because of the healing that you're doing and because of getting more in touch with like what you're feeling and how to understand that and also how to relate to other people in that way, and also maybe how you want to connect with someone, there's a sense of being able to meet with someone that's also looking to connect in that way. Because I'm seeing so much going on about reflection and about emotions. And like when we look at the I'm hearing the ideology of the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is an energy that's very dreamy, it's very nurturing, it's very in touch, it's like a very like motherly type of energy. And to see it with the Star card here and also with the Hermit, it's like this is somebody that reflects on their emotions a lot. This is somebody who has a vision of where it is that they're trying to go. This is somebody that's free and open to both give and receive love. It's somebody emotionally available. And maybe before, when you were in a place, if you were in a place where you weren't feeling emotionally available, it's like you've gotten to this place where you do want to connect intimately. And it's like this person ends up popping up into your sphere, and then you can connect with them in that same way that you've been looking to connect. And maybe you also realize that like there was a lack of satisfaction because maybe you were trying to connect and like, I don't want to say force intimacy, but it's like sometimes we get in situations where we try to create environments of intimacy, but we go about doing it in a way that's ineffective. And it feels like because you're really getting real with yourself here and ready for the big changes that are coming and ready to do the work and continuously doing the work for yourself, getting the help you need, also helping others. If that's something that resonates with you, there's a sense of like being graced by something that comes into your life that you feel you can authentically connect with because you are ready to. And this may not have been available to you until you got to that place. And now there's an opportunity to connect with someone so very genuinely. And this would be somebody that has really understood their path from an emotional, intuitive perspective. This is somebody also very creative as well that you would be connecting with. I will say this too, Scorpio. Say that Scorpio is your moon. It may be this other person's moon that pops up, maybe not their sun sign particularly, even though it can. But you may see that within the mix of this. Or if you're watching for your rising and you're connecting with someone, you may see that person's rising sign pop up in the reading, if that makes sense. I feel like this self-reflection is giving you a type of clarity that may have felt really foggy before. Because you could have found that things were holding you back, but you weren't sure about what those things were. And maybe because you felt like on the fence or even confused about where you stood emotionally, maybe even towards somebody, or how you even felt about potentially connecting with someone. I'm looking at Aquarius and Aries next to each other. I'm also hearing Virgo moon. I'm looking at Venus. I'm also seeing Sagittarius on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. I feel like this is a moment where you are looking within and something that had been unclear to you that was holding you back from stepping into an empowered space becomes crystal clear. It's one of those situations where it's like you couldn't put your finger on something and then all of a sudden you can feel it with both of your hands and you know exactly where you are and exactly what you want to do. I'm also hearing what you need to do. And I am seeing counterpart energy with the Emperor and the Empress here. This is complementary energy. And maybe you had been confused about how you were feeling towards someone. Maybe also about yourself and your own empowerment and what it would take to get yourself into a place where you were feeling empowered. It's like maybe you tried to do different things and you found that you weren't resonating with the process, or it wasn't something that you were connecting with, and now it feels like you're finding something that you actually do connect with, something that really resonates with you. And maybe that's also clarifying your feelings for someone even. It's like maybe you couldn't see the connection that you had with someone clearly because of all of the different things that were going on emotionally. Like, definitely some confusion about this. And then all of a sudden, it's like they're right there in your midst and you recognize this person and how you feel towards them. And I really do feel like this is a reciprocal process where it's like maybe you weren't seeing something about yourself, and then that picture of like who you are and how you want to be and how you want to live your life and how you want to connect with other people becomes very clear to you, and you're like, now I feel sure about this person. It's like, now I want to connect in that way that maybe I was holding myself back from. So it feels like because you're truly connecting with yourself now, you can connect with somebody else in that space. To go over the zodiacs, in the first spread, I'm looking at Leo and I'm looking at Mars. In this spread, I'm looking at Virgo, Aquarius, Aries, and I'm also hearing Neptune. Neptune is Pisces, and I'm looking at Venus. All right, friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.